that they used to work and then they stopped working. So I was gonna try again. Didn't sleep.
All right. Oh,
Your camera's not working. There it is.
there we go.
Bandwagon jumper.
Yeah. Had to be done. I fought that bandwagon a long time before it finally ran me over.
Meanwhile, you did a whole video telling the whole world how you're a bandwagon jumper.
Yeah. Well, the people here know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna give you laurels for that, though. I think they're just gonna tell you you're an ass.
No. Listen, I had people interview me like literally like, let me see if I accept you as an Eagle fan now. They asked me all. It was fun. It was definitely like, do we accept you or not? There was some hazing that went on, but I've crossed that barrier.
And when did this happen? When did this hazing happen?
When I said when I announced to people, oh, I'm no longer a Cowboy fan, I'm going to be picking a team in a year, maybe two. I'm independent right now, focusing on fantasy football. And then I was like, I think I'm going to be an Eagle fan. Yeah, it was a definite choice. I'm all in now.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
You did a video about it.
but I mean, I've watched my father change.
I was cracking up on that one.
I know you actually commented.
I had to. I had no choice but
You
to
spurned a whole second video.
I know.
By the way, I'm Obi. That's Ed. We are drinking from the garden hose. We're talking about nothing. I guess wherever you get your podcast. But Ed is talking about my TikTok. So this is obviously going to be a weird beginning to this episode. Ed, how are you?
Obi, I'm doing well. And yeah, I was just commenting on your TikTok, and I might have said it before on this podcast, but if I haven't, I'm going to say it. Obi is a TikTok maniac. The guy produces content, video after video. I had to join TikTok not to watch Obi. I joined TikTok to watch my daughter's basketball team because they post TikTok. And the only other person besides the basketball team that I knew on TikTok, oh, my kids wouldn't let me follow them, is Obi. And so now all I see on TikTok is Obi.
Well, yeah, I'm there a lot. I got to tell you, Ed. Ed posted a TikTok video. It's pretty funny. He's Ed on TikTok. And I put it on my old YouTube page where I've put some of my TikToks. And then I will discuss whether we're going to rename it. It's also where on YouTube you can find our podcast, Sound Only. And Ed, it was like the third most watched video I've posted since I started posting back on YouTube. You got 1,000-something views on the on YouTube version of you dancing in a pool.
No way. There's over 1,000 views of that.
I think, yeah, well, I think 1.5. Yeah, you did quite well.
I did better than it did on TikTok.
It's like it's weird. I can't tell you how these things work. The different algorithms, different words work, and you can't cut and paste the titles back and forth, so it's a little difficult to make it exactly the same video. But yeah, you did quite well there. I was impressed. So yeah. So
4 years old. You saw the timestamp on that video.
Oh yeah. And we are not on TikTok or YouTube, so people cannot see. You are dressed like you just got out of a work meeting. You are wearing your sports coat and and a button-down shirt. Is this the same outfit you wore on the plane to ride first class?
I wore this jacket on the plane. Yes.
So here's the thing. One of our loyal listeners, I don't know if he usually responds on the website or not under one of the various names, but he does usually send me messages. He heard that description of you wearing the jacket, and he's like, I know the words you were looking for to describe Ed's look. And looking at you now and seeing if you were on the airplane in this outfit, I would totally agree with the words he chose. He said, Ed's look, not Ed. Ed's look is definitely douche chill. And that is exactly what it is. Wearing your sports coat for first class.
Douche
absolutely.
Chill. Somebody said I'm douche chill.
Not you. He was very clear. Said, I don't want to piss it off. Just the outfit.
Just my outfit.
Just the outfit. Douche chill. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm wearing shorts right now. I was not wearing shorts on the plane. So I'm definitely probably douche chill right now because I
Shorts
got
and
short.
shorts and flip flops. I hope.
No, I got regular sneakers on, but I'm wearing short. I had physical therapy today because I'm old and
Yeah.
stuff doesn't work right. And yeah, so I'm wearing shorts. But for the business meeting, I had to put on the jacket and the button down shirt.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Colby, it was enough about my douche chill look. It was a year ago that we learned on this podcast because we're coming up on Thanksgiving. We learned that you didn't realize that bars that you used to go to drinking the night before Thanksgiving were actually real life restaurants that people would eat dinner at. So I'm wondering if we're going to learn something new about you today, but I think we will because here's the question I have for you, Obi. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and people will be listening to this episode the day after Thanksgiving. What is your favorite side dish, and what is the most overrated side dish at Thanksgiving? So I want to know your favorite, and I want to know the most overrated.
So, for those who don't remember, I used to be a much bigger fella. So my side dish is like, what do you mean by favorite side dish? So if my
Well,
wife,
turkey's the main entree. Anything
I,
else is a side dish.
so if my wife is cooking, if it's one of the years when my wife is cooking, whether we're going someplace or having it at the house, my favorite side dish is her cornbread. Her cornbread is top of the line. If you've never heard me brag about my wife's cornbread before, I won a chili cook-off because of my wife's cornbread. The two chilies were tied, and the guy who made the other chili said that cornbread that you had on the chili with the chili was so good, it made my cornbread, my chili better, and he voted for my chili. So I won a chili cook-off because of her cornbread. Now, if my wife isn't cooking, then it's probably going to be the mashed potatoes, assuming they're real mashed potatoes. And I like my mashed potatoes more chunky than smooth. So it's got to be a nice chunky mashed potato. A good, properly made mac and cheese can also take that award. So it'll be come down to what is presented with the mac and cheese or the mashed potatoes.
This is hilarious. I asked you a question. One favorite side dish, and you gave me three.
Great. Yeah. So the number one favorite side dish is clearly my wife's cornbread.
Yeah, but if she's not cooking, you got two others. You snuck three favorites in there.
Okay. And what's overrated? I don't know that anything's overrated unless anyone truly likes green bean casserole. If anyone likes green bean casserole or the thing with the marshmallows that's orange.
Sweet potato casserole with marshmallows. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's overrated. That's the most overrated.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, neither of those do I eat. So I think both of them must be overrated because people keep bringing them and they keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening, who does eat the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows? Who does eat that? Because you're right, it shows up at every Thanksgiving dinner. And so I was watching this it might have been on TikTok, but it might have been because I'm getting into social media there, but it could have also been on Facebook or something. And it was asking a wrestling team their favorite side dish and their most overrated. And I'm telling you, almost everybody said the sweet potato casserole.
And Ed, what is your favorite side dish? Since we're talking about it, and last time we did one of these, we didn't go on both sides, and people got a little angry.
Yeah, I know exactly. I was going to say, Obi, we never found out what you're going to do to get out of that room with 999 other people.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that later.
All right. So my favorite side dish, I would say, is the stuffing.
Stuffing.
I like some stuffing, and I do like the stuffing that was up the bird's ass. You know what I'm saying?
I was my thought process was when it used to go up the bird's ass and we risked life and death, that's when the stuffing was good. But now it's lost a little something.
I do like the stuffing up a bird's ass. Obviously, you got to cook it well, right? Because apparently you can die or something. And then I would say that my most overrated is, you already said sweet potato casserole, which I would go with. The cranberry sauce. And can we talk about that for a second? There's nothing sauce about it. It's jelly. It's cranberry jelly, but everybody calls it cranberry sauce.
That's because there is real cranberry sauce.
No, I understand that, but even the jelly shit people call cranberry sauce.
And it says it on the can. It's cranberry
Right.
sauce. So you're not wrong. It's
Right.
just when you actually show up somewhere at somebody's Thanksgiving and there's real cranberry sauce, your life has changed. Because first of all, you understand that there is actually something called cranberry sauce. And second, it's really good as a mix-in to any of the carby sides we've been discussing. Not a standalone thing, but it adds a little pizzazz if you mix it in properly to some stuffing or some potatoes. It really takes them up a notch. But that gel, which by the way, my father-in-law used to love, not so
Yeah.
good.
Don't
Not
know.
so good.
Some people love that, but here's the question I have about the cranberry sauce, the jelly cranberry sauce. Is does anybody does like what's the proper way to serve it? Because the way it's always served is you open the can and then you pop open the other side so the air goes in there and then it goes and it just comes out, right? And then the
Right.
ridges are on the bottom of it, and you just put it there and you serve it. Like that's how. Does anybody like mash it up, or does everyone just serve it like it just came out of the can?
I think everybody that I've ever seen serves it out of the can, but it's so obviously supposed to be mashed up. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
mashed
but
up.
I
Then it
think
becomes saucy.
problem. I think the problem is if you mash it up, people won't eat it. People want to like slice that shit. Like I think some people that's part of like kids and kids love it, right? But they
Yeah.
like to slice it up. They like to take a spoon into that. If you mashed it up, they would look at it and go, "What's that?"
You're probably right, but then it would be sauce and not gel. Just
Yeah,
saying, you could turn it into a sauce if you mashed it up.
yeah. So the reason I brought that up is I thought it was interesting, but I'm getting a lot of crap at work. And actually I don't think people realize I'm playing like 3D chess with them when I bring this up. But I have gone on record saying that I do not like turkey on Thanksgiving, and I think I've shared this with you before, Obi. And if I haven't, and if I
You
did, I'm
have.
going to again. And my mother has gone to the great lengths of she cooks lasagna for me. So she cooks turkey for everyone else, and then I get my own lasagna. And people at work think that that's an issue. And what I put back on them, I actually haven't said this to them, but if their mom really loved them, their mom would make them lasagna too.
I feel like we are echoing last year's episode because I remember this well. And I think you're at the point, Ed, in your life where you should be sparing your mom the making of the whole meal. To be honest, like God bless your mother. We go out to eat. We don't make any of the people in my family cook this meal.
Well, listen, if somebody invited me out, I'd go, but my mom invited me to her house and said, "Do you want big ziti or lasagna?"
Okay, well,
What am I supposed to do, Obi?
listen. What are you supposed to do? Volunteer to make it yourself?
Huh. And you know what's
Okay.
the best part? I don't know how to make that shit. But you know what's the best part? Is my mom sends me that text, and I would say probably tomorrow I'm going to get a text from my dad saying, "What kind of beer do you want?"
So that's fine. Listen, that's fine.
Who's got it better than me? Who's got it better than
I
me?
mean, listen. I mean, my dad would be asking me what kind of scotch he should buy, but that's okay.
Either
That's the
way,
same.
as long
It's the
as
same.
someone's asking and buying it for me, who's got it better than me?
Nobody. So we did the whole Thanksgiving thing. Have you done this Friendsgiving thing?
Friendsgiving? What the hell is that?
Okay. So my friends, we know what Thanksgiving is, and I had a buddy of mine. Well, he's been married for almost 16, I think 16 years now, and he moved out to California before I was married. When he got out there, he had no one to celebrate Thanksgiving with as a family, and it wasn't worth it to come back. So a bunch of his friends did Thanksgiving together because they were all a bunch of different transplants and whatnot. And they called it Friendsgiving. But this is a thing I think that was happening 20 years ago. It has now morphed into, 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine had a Friendsgiving. None of their family was there. It was just some friends. And another friend had another Friendsgiving. It's Friendsgiving without the your family, but the same meal. So that's what's happening out there. I can see by looking at your face you've never been to one or heard of one.
Well, first of all, I'm a douche. Chill. I'm a chill douche. So I don't get invited out much. Um, I guess
Oh, because you're
I
a
guess
douche.
the reason I get invited out once in a while is because I'm chill. If I was just a douche, I wouldn't be invited anywhere. But that's not why I'm giving you the face. The face is it it just seems like an excuse to having a party. Just have a freaking party. Say, hey people, come on over. I don't
Well,
understand why I gotta call it Friendsgiving. Because here's at the end of the day, Thanksgiving, I think Thanksgiving, the pilgrims weren't all related to each other, right? They were a religious group. They liked each other, but so they were. I don't know. I just think you can have anybody you want in your house. I don't think it has to be only family. So this Friendsgiving thing, I don't know. It's an excuse to have a party.
so A, it's definitely an excuse to have the party. It's having a Thanksgiving. It's like you have a Halloween party, you call it a Halloween party. You have a Thanksgiving party, you call it a Friendsgiving party. But I do think this concept of the Friendsgiving party started in areas where there were a lot of transplants that were far enough away from their families that, and maybe wanting not to go back to their families, was just easier to just be, yeah, we'll all just stay here in California, or we'll all just stay here in New York and have our Thanksgiving as a group of friends, family be darned, if
I
you
get,
will.
yeah, yeah. Listen, I think what's concerning to me though, Obi, about this whole scenario, is I get that you're transplants and it's the fourth Thursday of November, and you're gonna be by yourself. So you have friends over, or you go over, or somebody feels bad for you and they invite you over, and you have Thanksgiving, and maybe it's funny. It was on. I think it was probably on Friends, the TV show. So we're gonna call it Friendsgiving. That's cute. It's on Thanksgiving, whatever. That's not concerning to me. Actually makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I don't think you have to be family to celebrate Thanksgiving. What's concerning to me, Obi, after just getting done talking about how I don't like turkey on Thanksgiving and I have lasagna, is that people are going out of their way, from what I heard, in having these Thanksgiving parties, like not on Thanksgiving, but like 2 weeks before, like, oh, on November 14th, I'm gonna have a Friendsgiving party. Why don't you come by? I'm putting the turkey together and some cranberry sauce and some sweet potato casserole. Like that is concerning because that's not party food. You shouldn't have to eat that shit more than once a year. If you invite me over to your house, we better not be having turkey.
So
That's
I
that's
mean,
just giving you a look. Like, who the hell's having turkey on November 14th? That's a problem.
all right. So I went to the Friendsgiving, and I believe this Friendsgiving that we went to, I believe there was a second option. I think it might have been ham. There was,
Oh my God. Oh, that's even worse. Holy shit. I hate ham on Christmas. God. Oh my God. I, if anyone figures this out, the only traditional food I'm into is hamburgers and hot dogs on 4th of July. I'm not into ham on Christmas, turkey on Thanksgiving, or what do we have on Easter? Lamb? No, I'm not Greek, but I'm not into that either. So, oh my God.
we don't have rabbit on Easter.
Oh, dude, the rabbit gets away, leaves the hides the eggs. You never catch the rabbit. You can't eat it if you don't catch it.
Oh, okay. And I believe you have seven fishes on Christmas Eve. Do you do that? Do you?
I'm not Italian, so I don't do that either.
I don't know. You're not Italian. You have lasagna for fucking Thanksgiving, man.
And then if you notice, I don't have. I hate ham. I hate it. I hate it. And my mom used to always serve it. And then one day I finally told her. Now I think I get lasagna on Christmas too. But listen, the seven fishes, as you know from reading our website, I don't even eat a fish stick. So you know I'm not eating seven fish.
You know, your diet's kind of douche chill. I would add that to your jacket.
You think my diet's douche chill?
Yeah, yeah. Your palate, not your diet, your palate. Because
I'm starting to think I don't know what douche chill means then
neither
because
do I. Neither do I. I mean, I know what it meant with the jacket on the plane. I don't know what it means with the diet, but we're going to define douche chill. It's going to be a new thing on our website, Ed's douche chill, and all the things about Ed, so we can define what
well,
douche chill.
it might be a poll question coming up.
Should douche chill be something that people strive to achieve?
Or is Obi douche chill and just doesn't know it? So Obi,
Yeah.
what if you were in a room with 999 other people, and the only way you could get out of the room is you had to show a skill that you were better than everyone else at? What would that skill
I
be?
mean, after having this conversation, after talking to you, talking to a few other people who listen to the show, I mean, it was obvious. It's got to be Kendo. If we're taking 1,000 people at random, chances are I'm going to be better than all of them at Kendo. I am a second degree black belt at this point. So to me, it's pretty obvious.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know. You don't think there's other kendo people out there?
And 1,000 people? Out of 1,000 people, I know 1,000 people over including myself, who don't do kendo. Like I know, but I probably have 500 people who know me firsthand who don't do kendo. So yeah, 1,000 pretty easy. I'm confident. I am confident. It's not a very popular sport in that kind
And
of
then
way.
you have to be better than them at it.
Yeah,
So
listen.
kendo.
I know more people who play wiffle ball, Ed, than I know who play kendo.
All right, let's be clear for our audience that kendo is sword play, right?
Yes, yes. Kendo, a particular type of sword play with a particular scoring system in place. So it's not.
I saw a recent video that you posted of some young children doing kendo.
Yes.
And it seems to me like all you do is bonk somebody on top of the head with a sword. And I'm thinking that would be pretty easy to defend. I would just I don't know.
It is. It
I would just take one step to the right and you'd miss me.
You would think that you would take one step to the right and someone would miss you, but you would be wrong because you would be too slow to take one step to the right. And if you did take one step to the right, you would be opening up your right wrist, which is another place you can score. So your right wrist would be wide open and you would probably lose your hand.
So top of the head is a scoring spot?
There are 4 scoring spots. There is the top of the head and the top, not the front. It has to be at the top of the head. Okay. There is the right wrist for most styles. There are a few styles people can move to as they get better, which will open up the left wrist as well. There is across the sternum, you're going to cut out their innards. And you can cut left to right or right to left. Okay. And then there is a stab to the throat.
That doesn't seem safe.
Well, you wear a protector.
And like a baseball catcher?
Pretty much like a baseball catcher, yes. And again, there are a couple of styles of ways you would hold your swords that would open you up more for the throat stab. And those people who compete using those styles usually have an additional neck protector on top of the one that's standard.
All right. We just did a public service for all of our listeners.
Yes.
They know more than they ever wanted to know about kendo.
Yeah. Oh, and the last week, in all of the classes I was in, and I was in a few because I was teaching as well as being taught, we did a whole review of all of the intricacies and not only just the scoring targets, but the steps to actually make your point count after you hit your target. So there's some art involved in getting a point. You have to hit your target, and then you have to have some additional artisticness to scoring that point.
So I sincerely hope that our listeners that were really bummed about what your skill would be, that you never shared it, are happy now.
They should be, because if they weren't happy, that would suck. The charm is that we suck. I'm Obi. That's Ed. Catch us next time on Drinking from the Garden Hose.